Hello, Jess Too Good here, and today we're taking a look at the LEGO Ninjago Legacy 2020 Golden Mech set, which has 4 minifigures, 489 pieces, and retails for $40 in the United States. That's a lot of fours. Either way, this was sent to me by LEGO. Thank you, LEGO, but all opinions in this video are my own. This first minifigure is Golden Ninja Lloyd. This design is from 2019 with the Golden Dragon set, of course based off the minifigure from the original set. And the only difference between that Golden Dragon set and this one is the sword holder here. It has not come in pearl gold before from my understanding, so it's nice to get it. One thing I don't understand, and correct me if I'm totally mistaken, you could blast me in the comments, maybe this is just a misprinted sword right here. This sword does not fit inside the sword holder. Look at this. It just doesn't fit. So what's really the point of this? Is this not supposed to be a sword holder? Am I missing something here? Ninjago fans, please help me out. Beyond that, not too much else going on here. I like the face printing underneath. This is just a really fantastic figure overall, and I liked it a lot last year. And remove that sword holder, and you get a look at the back of the torso. The Sensei Wu of this set is a minifigure that appeared in 2 of the more expensive Legacy sets from last year, so it's nice to get him in a bit of a cheaper set with the really interesting torso printing, and you can get a better look of that with the staff and beard removed. The General Kozu minifigure might be the most desirable of the set, as this is a character who hasn't been reprinted until this set came out, and this design does have some updated prints in it, with a new design on this top layer, I guess would be the best way to put it. You know, the extra set of arms he gets. If you don't know how that piece works, it just goes over this torso piece, which the torso and legs are an existing design from the previous Legacy sets. And also, his face print underneath is actually a new design as well. Unfortunately, it's only one-sided, so there's no alternate expression. This energy sword here is actually kind of hard to get, at least the blade part, where it didn't come in too many cheap sets from the last summer wave, and it came in a few sets from a couple years back. But that's it for this General Kozu minifigure. And finally, the Stone Army Scout minifigure is the same design from the Thunder Driller set with that yellow face print and the new conical hat styling from the LEGO Ninjago movie. And with the quiver removed, you can get a better look at his back torso printing. This set serves as a remake of the Mech from the Temple of Light set from 2013. Which means they omitted the Temple of Light build here and focused on beefing up the Mech just a little bit with what I could tell some added articulation. Like, I don't think the original one had knee joints. Also, there's some added detailing with some extra pieces and everything there. And keep in mind, I'm not a Mech expert nor somebody who owned the original set, but I'll just express my thoughts here. And my favorite part of this version, as well as the original version, is the cockpit area, where they have this brick-built conical hat design. Well, they actually use the conical hat piece from the Ninjago movie in pearl gold, which did come in the gamers market, but that's about the only other set I know that it comes in that color. But also, it has this dish piece here, which has a really nice exclusive printing. Like how that came out with some complex colors of red, black, and gold, and all on white. And the cockpit itself is easily accessible by this clip connection here to just lift up that dish piece. And on the inside, there's enough space to fit one minifigure, as well as a double cheese slope with printing, which we've seen quite a bit throughout the Ninjago sets, but it's still nice to see here. And the rest of the torso is actually a nice improvement over the original, where they use these blade pieces to get a very triangular look. You could actually move this piece down, but that's really just clipped on for design rather than movement. This piece right here in the original, or a very similar piece to it, I think it was like a different, longer one, was in pearl gold, and I kind of wish they did that with this one. Instead, they go with a white, and it doesn't look too accurate to this show, just judging by the back, and it was a much more interesting piece to get in pearl gold, but it's not too big of a deal. Behind the torso, I like the use of these blade pieces, which are attached via miniature ball joints, so you could get some movement there and position them how you'd like, as well as these pieces being on separate little cones, so you could twist them and turn them and position them in any way. This design does have some awkward red Technic pieces just kind of sticking out. I don't like that, but I do like this little flag build back here, which does have a sticker on both sides, as well as a little top dragon piece. And since it's on one of those Exoforce arms, you can move it up and down. The arm builds are identical except inverted to their appropriate sides, and they do use quite a bit of stickers. A sticker here, a sticker over here, and then right at the shoulder, another sticker. You can see that this uses a shoulder socket joint, so you get some nice movement all around. as well as a mid-arm joint, and that is a ball joint. And it doesn't have too much movement to it because of how these pieces come, but still you can move it side to side and get some different positioning. I just like how articulated this mech is. There's even more articulation with the fingers. They're complete 3 fingers and then 1 extra finger, which I guess you could call a thumb here. And if you're wondering why there's a Technic pin, well, that's actually to hold the sword, and we'll get to the sword in a little bit. But I just wanted to highlight how complete this looks from different angles, where they even put some slope detailings on the back, as well as some 2x2 jumpers. It just ends up for a very complete build, which I like. The sword build is very similar to the originals, even down to the red handle here, and that's actually the part that connects to the Technic pin to hold it in place. And once you have those fingers on, it's not going to fall out or anything like that. With all that articulation in the arm, it's really nice to swing this sword around, so I like playing around there. And for the build of the legs, this design does have more articulation than the original as far as I could tell. Again, I don't own the original, but I don't think the original had knee joints. I was looking at pictures and different angles, and it seemed like that was the case. This does have a more complete design too, where just like the arms, you look at it from different angles and it looks pretty complete. Like even at the back here, they put some finish with some tiles and some vent pieces that work pretty well. But the articulation here is at the hips, the knees, and the feet. The hip joints get the most movement, which allows for many different poses, which I'll be posing it soon. And this knee joint over here gets some movement, so you could position it in different ways. And then the feet joints get some more movement than probably the middle section, but less than the top. This design at the end does look pretty cool as well, where they use these riot shield pieces, as I call them, to kind of finish off that feet design. Also 2 stickers on these sloped pieces. Like, just look how dynamic some of these poses can be. Like, I can't name too many mechs that I could put standing like this. Or even like this. That's the back part of the top of the hips, or the side part of the legs. I don't know. But before we move on, I just wanted to air 2 annoyances with this set. First off, it does become top heavy at points. So when you're getting it in certain poses or just playing around with it, it can fall over, and that becomes a little bit annoying. Second thing is there's some red that just kind of comes out of nowhere. I don't like it at the hips here. I don't like these Technic pins up there, which I pointed out earlier in the video, but you get the point. Either way, that's it for the build. The box for this uses the sometimes $50 box size, but I'm realizing this is used more and more for $40 sets with some different shots at the back, even scenes from the TV show. And the instructions have an advertisement for the 3 legacy sets of Winter 2020 at the back. Well, they're missing the Thunder Raider set, but that is a retail exclusive. So overall, I don't have too many problems with the build of this set. Really, my main problem would be the black and red, which isn't even that big of a problem because they're just sparsely used, but they don't mesh too well with the gray, gold, and white color scheme they have going on here. But my bigger problem with this set is just that I don't find it that interesting, and that is a personal preference, but let me explain. I like mechs and Lego, but this is a year where we're getting a lot of Lego mechs, and some are more interesting than others. This is something we've seen before. It's a remake, and it looks very similar to the Titan mech that was released last summer. It doesn't do too much to, I guess, improve on the mech idea from Lego, so it just doesn't really have a place in this 2020 wave of sets. It just doesn't interest me compared to some other $40 sets. Now, I wish they maybe added a little bit more to the set so that I could have something that interests me. For example, the original mech set had a temple build, and I actually like that temple build better than the mech build. Here, it's just the mech, and they omit the temple, and to me that was kind of a weak decision. They should have just remade the whole set. But with all things considered, again, it's not a bad build, and I'd rate this one a B. It's a good set for $40 too, where I think you get enough for the value. I just kind of wish there was more to the set in terms of something else, so it wasn't just all about the mech. But that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you disagree, I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.